evening. It is boys lacrosse. Maple Grove hosting Chanhassen tonight. Steve Thomas along with Dan Ficken. And there is a bit of a threat of rain. We could probably use it, but it looks like it'll stay away tonight for this showdown. Teams coming in, Maple Grove 3-5 on the year, Chanhassen 2-7. And Dan, these teams have one thing in common: scoring goals or the lack thereof. It has been a challenge for both.
It really has. They've been struggling mightily from there. They need a spark, and I'm looking forward to. I look for their their big long sticks, to get activated a little bit more and maybe make a run. And we saw a few games ago where a goalie actually made a rush and scored and got his team going. But both teams need a kick from somebody to get them rolling. They need it early, and I think the first team that does is going to get on a roll.
Yeah, and the good news for Maple Grove as of late is they've played better. Lakeville North, perennial power, they got beat 15-1 in this 3-game losing streak. Better against Rogers, scored some goals 15-10, and then lose to the Cadets. St. Thomas Academy here at Maple Grove last night, 10-8. So 8 goals in the last game, or it was 2 games for the Crimson. We'll see if they can build on that.
Well, the other part of this thing too, Steve, is playing a little better defense and getting some goaltending. If they can get a few extra saves here tonight, block a few extra shots, that can make all the difference in the world too. Sometimes you can win with better defense than you can with offense.
And they were 2-1 out of the gate, and then ultimately 3-2 before going on that 3-game skid. Meanwhile, for Chan, they've already played the top team in the state, and that's been Old St. Margaret's. They got beat 10-3, so they didn't get blown out. They just struggled to score goals. 10 against Benil, that's not bad.
Not bad at all. Keeping them down under 20 this year has been, quite an accomplishment for most teams. So they played them really tough, and against a pretty good Stillwater team, they got hammered pretty good. But you could be up or down, and they're looking for something to get them going here. They got to improve their defense, and again, more scoring. But again, if you stop them defensively and stuff, you can get a charge on that and boost your offense with that. So that's what they're going to be looking at tonight.
Chan at Maple Grove, and scoring could be at a premium tonight. Stick around; it's on the way in a moment here on CCX Media.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And we're ready to go. It is boys lacrosse, and the weather is lovely. What a tear we've been on weather-wise. Just great summer weather here in May. Crimson and white, Storm in gold with those shiny gold helmets. We are ready to go. Crimson trying to climb to within a game of 500. Storm control the draw. Ground ball picked up, and it's going to be moved the other way by Maple Grove. Ethan Berry, a nice job. Chases that ground ball at midfield. He's going to carry it forward, and he has running room. Here comes Berry, cruises in, fanned on the shot. And that ground ball is scooped up there by the Storm. Turning the other way, Riley Severson. And the Storm go right back at it. So draw control for the Storm. They bobble it, and now they go back to work. In goal for the Crimson is Jacob Hamill. Carson Knutson will spend time in the net as well. They've split time all year, according to head coach Jake Wilson. Storm on the attack. They try to get inside. Jack Carlson turned away. Good double team by the Crimson. They pressure the ball, and now it comes out on top. And the Storm swing it around. Owen Potenza had it. Moving in, Callan Balliet. Once again, both teams have struggled scoring at times. Quick shot and a goal. How about that move? Carlson spins and gives Chan the early lead. Time of that goal comes 1:17. But Jack Carlson, nice spin move, got inside. You see right here, spin, change hands, goes top shelf. And the Storm have the early lead. They've dropped 2 in a row. They got beat by Stillwater last Saturday, 17-4. And then fell to New Prague, 11-3. Ground ball, Crimson scoop it up. And they get a draw control, so we're even at 1 apiece there. And then Maple Grove turns it over along the sideline. Chase Kudla couldn't stay in bounds. Now the Storm get another opportunity. They have the opening goal here. Carlson got us started. Kalen Balliot. And now along the sideline, Perry. Could he hold it in? No. Both teams have turned it over now. And now Maple Grove onto the attack for the first time. They're going to get it near midfield and go to work. Thompson gives it up. Quick shot, and that goes wide. That was Ricky Peterson, the leading scorers for the Crimson. Sent it wide. Crimson had a man deep. They're going to try and get it out front from the X position. Double team comes for the Storm. Trying to fight through it there is Grant Jensen. We have a flag. It's going to go on the Storm. Maple Grove's going to continue to work. There's a shot. Big save there. Nice save by Poulin, the goalie. Henry Poulin, just a 9th grader, blocked that one, but first penalty of the game is going to go to Chan, and they're going to go a man down at 2:29. That was Jonas Sullivan, one of the defenders. Sullivan takes a knee, and now Maple Grove a chance to get the equalizer, a man up. Sun is shining bright. Once again, temps in the 80s, a light breeze. Shouldn't be a factor in the tilt here tonight. To the X position, they work it around counterclockwise. Out on top was Barthel for the Crimson. Right back out on top, quick shot, another save, Poulin. He went down low to get it. That one was ripped from out on top by the Crimson and Varian. And now the Storm try and clear it out. They're pushing and shoving. Josh Thompson along the sideline. Did he force him out? Indeed did. Good job by Maple Grove defensively to get that right back. Storm almost offside at midfield. And now it's Thompson setting up. Trotting back onto the field, Barthel. From the outside, a big shot in the goal. And Ricky Peterson ties it up. Peterson with a laser beam on the left side. And time of that goal, 3:29. There's a good look at it. He had plenty of time. Steps into it. Storm get there late. No chance for Poulin, who's had a couple of nice saves in this game. So Carlson for Chan. Peterson for Maple Grove. 1-1 with 8:31 remaining in the first quarter. Right back to the middle of the field. An all-important face-off. Kudla trying to control the draw for Maple Grove and can't. That one almost tossed away by Lucas Ledoux. We got a ground ball opportunity on the right side. Good battle over there. Maple Grove jumps into it, but a hold called on Maple Grove. Charlie Parker over there with the hold. He won't take a knee. Maple Grove takes advantage of the man-up situation and gets the equalizing goal. Now Chan going to work. Here's Carlson. He had the first goal of the game, 1:17. Carlson, the goal line extended, tries to get to the front. Shot way over the top and long. And the Crimson hang on to a 1-1. Clock on the move, 7:45 to go. And that comes to the goalie for Maple Grove. And now the Crimson are going to send it. Trotting out of the net a long way is Hamill. Hamill gives it up to his right. This is Bodnar. Bodnar is going to move it forward. Well, that was quite a catch along the sideline there. Beautiful move. Ricky Peterson, who has the lone goal for Maple Grove. Oh, that was a terrific catch, Dan, along the sideline for Peterson.
Well, he's our most skilled player, and you want to get the ball in his hands as quickly as possible. They had a little trouble getting it up into the attack zone, but once I got it to him, no problem. And I expect him now to hold it a little bit and move it around.
Peterson tries to set a pick. They'll come back to the outside. Barthel now into the middle. This is Burgess. Burgess put it on the ground and got it back. And now Burgess, he's going to make his move forward. Gets shoved again. They go to the goal line extended. Maple Grove moving it quickly. Good job there. Varian with it. He put it on the ground. Crimson are going to control that ground ball. And now it's Barthel out there. Maple Grove takes advantage of the man up, got right back into it. And now around the corner goes Barthel. Quick shot that was partially deflected. That was a shot attempt, even though deflected. Maple Grove's going to hang on.
Well, we get a good look at that catch by Ricky Peterson there. He got knocked it down, but he grabbed it real quick. But Maple Grove has notoriously been a slow-starting team this year, and to be tied right now, that's a good thing for them. That bodes well for them.
Peterson on the ground and back, send it to the outside in traffic. Nice catch there, Barthel. He goes to the X position, right back to the outside. Big shove, double team comes, ground ball opportunity. Batted out of there by Chan. That was a terrific defensive play by the Storm as they move it forward. That was a great job by Sullivan.
Yeah, and he picked it up and he got out of trouble right away. He didn't even look for the pass. He just got on his horses and ran and got it out of trouble. Smart play by the long stick there.
Well, he used it so well to poke that ball ahead, get it out of traffic, and then grab that ground ball. That was a very nice play defensively.
Well, now we see what the Storm can do now, set up on their offense.
And we've already seen Jack Carlson get to the front and unleash a big shot. Balliot. Balliot's going to try his dodge into the middle. Good defense there by the Crimson. Outstanding. Nowhere for him to go.
I've noticed throughout this year, too, a lot of people are getting in the slot, and there are a lot of defenses are allowing them to. They got to shut that down. Make them shoot from the outside, from a wide angle.
Potenza shot attempt deflected all the way out to the Chan bench. Ground ball picked up by Maple Grove right along the sideline and then shoved out of bounds. I think Chan's going to get this back.
Yep.
And no room for Conrad to go anywhere for Maple Grove. And really, that was great use of the body. Use the sideline to your advantage.
Well, they got him boxed in from three sides, too, now. And then they double team on that defense. He only had one way to go, and that was forward, and they just cut that off.
Chan trying to get to the front. They do. Quick shot blocked by the Crimson. Converging on that quick shot was amazing. They were able to even get there.
Yeah.
In time.
Well, there you see, Steve, that the importance of block shots. You got to get that stick up on their stick and keep it there. Make sure your body's in good position to stay even, so that you can go whichever direction they go in. Ooh, bad pass.
Clear up the middle of the field, ground ball. Can the Crimson win that ground ball fight? And indeed they do. Good job by Maple Grove to pick it up and turn the other way, and that's Grant Jensen. Now it's Peterson. Peterson gives it up. They'll run into the middle, and now Maple Grove's going to set up on the attack. Under 4 to go in the quarter. Side of the net. That was a quick shot, or was it a pass?
They're calling it a shot, it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I think the refs know who had the ball in the stick, and yeah, that was a shot.
And now the Crimson get it way out on top. Beck Cherney. Out of the X position. See what they do down there. Varian. Varian's going to try and run out of there, get to the front. Denied. So far they've done a good job of just denying that. You absolutely have to take that away from that X position trying to get to the front. Gotta force him to the outside. There's a quick shot. That's blocked out of there.
Nice save.
And that is Poulin, who's done a nice job in goal. 3 big saves already for Chan. Still 1-1. Under 3 to go, first quarter. Boys Lacrosse here on a Friday night. Maple Grove hosting Chan. Made the trip up. That can be an arduous journey from Chanhassen. Oh, what a shot and a goal. How about that? Grant Jensen, top shelf.
Second leading scorer for the Crimson here. That's his 13th goal of the season. He's now one behind Ricky Peterson. But just a great shot here. Got his eyes open as he makes the turn here, and it got it on his power side, and he just ripped it as the double team coming. Steve was a little delayed by about a half second. That's all the room he needed. Found the upper part corner of the net.
Yeah, and it's tough for the goalie to react to that far shoulder upper corner. I mean, that, that they typically are not going to have the stick position that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a dart by Jensen. And Maple Grove scored 2 in a row. Ground ball control there. And here come the Storm the other way. Ground ball opportunity. Fighting that one off, Charles Rice. And Maple Grove gets it back, so Chan turns it over. Carlson got that goal, 1:17 in. Maple Grove's had the better of it. They go right back to the attack, win another ground ball. Barthel. And now it's Burgess. Burgess waiting for someone to come on the field, and that's Ryan Smith, senior midi. Smith's going to grab it.
Well, the Crimson, too, after losing the opening faceoff, have won the last 2. And, when you get possession, that's 90% of it right there. And they're doing really good at controlling it, looking for a little one-on-one, but being able to move the ball around really nicely.
The X position to the outside and a turnover. That one off the stick of Burgess. And Maple Grove's going to keep it alive. Ricky Peterson was able to flag it down in front of his own bench. Peterson shows his speed, gets to the left, quick shot. Hit iron. Ricochet is out. Trying to hold it in was Barthel. And Maple Grove, they're going to hang on to it. He got shoved down there rudely by Noah Johnson for the Storm.
Yeah, 2 hands on a stick and from behind. They could have called 1 of 2 there. They didn't call anything, but this is going to be a physical game, I think, Steve.
Barthel. And these teams have to keep it low scoring because they just don't have a ton of goal scorers on either side. We talked about it at the Open. And keeping it tight is important. There's a save. Poulin off the shot by Barthel.
You could look at that shot that went off the far post there. He had the corner and had it beaten to the stick side. But just one inch to the right, a little too far.
If you had a post on your bingo card, you're in business.
You're
Carlson.
a winner.
And I'll get it out of the way now. The net has to end somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
First time I heard that, it's like, yeah, it's a good point. Oh, we hit 2 posts tonight. Well.
Or as the defensive coach says, the net stops here.
Right. Carlson put it on the ground. He had a goal. He tried to do a little too much. Another ground ball for the Crimson. Nice clear.
Nice.
Beautiful feed forward there. And now Maple Grove in business again. Seconds remaining in the quarter. Can they get a shot off? Here's Jensen, side of the net. And they did get his shot away, and Poulin made the save. Peterson was able to let it fly, and it would have counted, but Poulin down low to make the save. Crimson lead at 2-1, so after a slowish start, battle back, play really well.
Well, you just saw it in that last play. The juice for the Crimson's gotten going there. Ricky Peterson, that was a great play. He caught it up high, and he got it down low real fast, probably faster than most guys could. That's why he's one of the premier players in the state. Got an excellent opportunity looking for the 5-0, and he almost got it home.
Quarter number 2 on the way here on CUCX Media.
But never twice, 'cause me and my team gon' win tonight. Win tonight, win tonight. Me and my team gon' win tonight. Had a run before, but never twice, 'cause me and my team gon' win tonight. Win tonight, win tonight. Me and my team.
Top Line Financial Credit Union. We love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Top Line member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Carlson the first goal for Chanhassen, but Maple Grove, Peterson at 3:29 and Jensen at 9:18. Maple Grove leads it 2-1, and they have started to dominate ground balls.
They really have, and they need to do that. As far as controlling it once they got it, they've been doing that really well. I think they've had, well over half the possession time in that quarter, and, they've gotten some shots off, but I think they're going to look to play a little bit more inside, get a little closer inside in the Storm's area to get some shots off. The Storm, they really got to start getting it inside. They really have been, stuffed back, and although they got that first goal.
Fades off here. And as we switch ends, Chan defending the goal down to our left, Maple Grove to the right, Crimson in white here tonight if you're just tuning in. 2-1 Crimson. Trying to get a win here, break that skid, and get a game within 500 as we close in on the end of the regular season. Varian down at that X position, being chased around, gets it to the goal line extended. Here's Jensen. They work it out on top. Trotting onto the field, Blake Cherney, a sophomore. Cherney's going to get it, shows his speed, gets to the outside, lets one fly, and it skips wide. Maple Grove had two players deep, and will hang on. Boy, he didn't hesitate.
No, well, they put a few in there. They found that 5-hole, and that makes a tendency for you to want to fire it from wherever you are, especially if you get a screen in front of yourself.
Chan challenging in the back. Varian hangs on. Gets it out on top, puts it on the ground. Cherney's going to try and run it down. Ground ball opportunity. Back Cherney. There's Blake Cherney out there as well for the Crimson. And now Varian.
Boy, you were right. Maple Grove is dominating. They've won 5 ground balls now consecutively.
Down low, pulling a save. Quick shot there by Josh Thompson. Long clear to the middle of the field on the ground. Who's going to win this battle? Another opportunity controlled by Maple Grove. Player shoved down. Now Chan's going to grab it. Good job by Rig Nelson. Boy, he didn't give up on that. Now Rig being chased by Parker. Charlie Parker all over him. And now Chan goes to the attack. They need to settle in for a bit.
Yeah. Control. They're only down by 1, but again, get some ball control. Tire out Maple Grove a little bit. Jeepers, they've been flying in the offensive zone. The defense is well rusted.
Owen Potenza out on top. Gets it further inside. Now they'll swing it down to the X position. See what they do onto there. Maple Grove's got a lot of bodies in front. Winding and firing there was Rig Nelson, just a 9th grader. And Maple Grove had a player deep. They're going to get it.
Yeah, it's a little bumping going on there.
Maple Grove coming the other way. Good long run up the far sideline. No one there stopping the ball for the Storm. And you'd probably like to see that, especially with the defender cruising in with that long stick.
Well, they say in racing, Steve, if it ain't rubbing, you ain't rubbing, it ain't racing. So getting a little physical right now would be a good thing for the Storm. Oh,
they get it right in front, and fanning on the shot, I believe it was Delger. And now Maple Grove gets it back. Boy, they came right down, had a great scoring opportunity. Now a ground ball at midfield. Big collision there. The ground ball chance. Crimson trying to grab that one. And now the Storm, it's just ping-ponging around.
So are the bodies.
Yeah.
Man.
And now Rig Nelson. Now we're going to get a timeout. I think both coaches are like, we need to calm things down. 8:50 to go, quarter number 2. Crimson led it 2-1 after 1. Peterson and Jensen for the goals. And it goes back every time we do a game together, Dan. It's so key. You look at the face-offs. Boy, ground balls and turnovers in this game are gigantic.
Yeah, making all the difference in the world. You know, the team that can control it, you know, is going to get the more opportunities and probably the more goals. You know, you can't be anxious. You got to work every single possession like it's your last possession. You know, you don't have to be in a hurry. You know, there is no shot clock here, and just work it and try and create an opportunity or so. We'll see which team adjusts first and starts getting that done.
Look at both coaches and in the huddles as they work with the defenders and the middies in the attack. And while it is in the 80s, the humidity's been very low. I know other parts of the state have had red flag warnings, etc. It is getting to the point. Now, I don't want to see it during the game or during a sporting event, but we could use an overnight rain at this point in time. We could use the rain.
A good soaker right now would be really nice.
Yeah. There you can see a bit of a breeze. Not a huge impact. It's picked up a little bit blowing in from the north. Looks like it'll be a great night tonight for all those anglers that are going out. Fishing opener tonight at midnight all over the state. And I think it's going to be warm enough. You're going to see a lot of folks out on the water after midnight tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow all over the state. And then a big day for Mom on Sunday.
Don't forget, guys, it's Mother's Day.
Yeah, don't forget. Oh, boy.
Kids, take care of Mom. Dad, please don't forget. You'll regret it.
Yeah, birthdays, anniversaries, Mother's Day, those are major no-nos. Major no-nos. Onto the timeout, Chan to the attack, down by one. Once again, both teams, they put it on the ground. Good defensive play by Maple Grove over there. Outstanding job. Just to flat-out take it away.
Good stick arm twist there. He got it wrapped in there really nice underneath his arms and just turned it a bit, and it turned that basket, and out it came.
Bodnar, really a good job for Maple Grove, far side of the field. Now the Crimson go to the attack. They put it on the ground, trying to bat it away. It was Ricky Peterson. Peterson had the game-tying goal, and they turn it over. And now an opportunity for the Storm to move it forward. And they will indeed. Here's Dawes and Perry. Perry, one of the defenders. They love it when they get into the attack zone. These guys are just, you can tell that they want to hang out in there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Potenza. And now Perry is going to be sent back past midfield. Balmquist. It's it inside. Another ground ball opportunity. But Rig Nelson was over there for the Storm. And they restore order.
Well, every coach should be encouraging these guys to take drinks when they get off the field. It's going to be so hot out here, you're going to get dehydrated fast.
Oh, and on that turf.
Oh, it gets warm down there.
It is a huge advantage in this game, and it's another thing we've talked a lot about, Dan, over the years. When they're playing on the natural grass, there's a lot of good, but boy, for ground balls, etc., early in the year particularly, it can be a nightmare.
Oh, God, yes.
And that's where turf's a huge advantage for this game, boys and girls, in the spring to be able to play it on the turf.
Yeah, the only problem with turf is with that, torn up rubber base there. It really holds heat in big time. I mean, you could feel it under the soles of your cleats coming through, but, most of these guys aren't noticing it right now. They're in good shape, and, they're probably pretty used to it.
Blake Cherney gives it up. Brady Barthel. And now the Crimson go to work in the attack zone. Ricky Peterson at the X. He's going to dodge to the right, try to get to the front. There's a shot attempt way over the top. And that's going to be Storm ball.
Yep.
Maple Grove didn't have anybody deep. Now they get it to the goalie, Poulin. He's made some nice saves. 3 huge saves in that first quarter. Maple Grove could be up certainly 3-4-1 at this point. Good long clear. Quick shot. That skips over the top of the net.
And Poulin's got a pretty good save percentage of .524. That's good for a lacrosse goalie. He's big too, Steve. He covers a lot of net just by standing there. He's got to be at least a 6-footer.
Chan back to work. Again, that breeze has certainly picked up a bit now. And at the back of the Storm as they're in the attack zone from north to south here at Maple Grove. There's a bobbled ground ball. Palmquist couldn't handle it cleanly. Opportunity for Maple Grove to get it back. They're going to pick it up. Nice job there. Jack Conrad snuck in, then he put it on the ground. Storm get it right back. Team's trading a lot of ground balls right now. They get it inside, quick shot. Whoa, that goes wide. Boy, they got it in tight.
I'll tell you, both teams having trouble scoring, but neither of them are lacking for toughness and just really working hard. Particularly without the ball.
Push there. I'm a little surprised. That sure looked like a pass attempt. Storm had a player deep near the end line and are going to hang on. That did not look like a shot attempt to me. Unless it was deflected by the Crimson.
Yeah.
And now Maple Grove's going to get it back. They're going to go to the goalie. That's going to be Jacob Hamill, the senior. Hamill's going to trot forward. He's going to keep moving forward. Those goalies like to get into the midfield area sometimes, too. Every now and then you'll see one take off.
I've only seen it once in all the years I've been doing this, but I did see a goalie go end to end and score one time. And I mean, the crowd went absolutely insane, including the opposing team's crowd. I mean, you just don't see that in lacrosse.
Yeah, you'll see some that are going to take it way up to the field, midfield area, but coast to coast. Then you get those defenders. They get on a run, and it's kind of like, all right, here's my moment to shine. Both teams, a lot of turnovers here. A lot of ground balls in quarter number 2. Maple Grove led it 2-1 after 1. We're coming up on 4 to go here in quarter number 2. A lot of pushing and shoving. We're going to get another timeout. Storm are going to talk it over. And as we pointed out, getting very close to the end of the year, 3 to go for both after tonight's game. And actually 4 to go for Maple Grove. Next week, Centennial here, Elk River Zimmerman here on the 20th, Blaine here on the 21st. They finish at Andover. And the Huskies having a better year. I saw them play a little bit earlier this season. And Andover much improved. And that'll close it out for the regular season. And then for the Storm, after tonight, 3 to go, Waconia Tuesday, Monday the 19th, Eden Prairie at home. And then their arch rival, they'll be at Chaska.
The Hawks. The Chaska Hawks. A rivalry game like no other.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I think they also have, there's a youth hockey association that they share out there.
Yep.
And how does that work? I know there's Osseo Maple Grove Hockey Association, but Chaska Chan, certainly quite a rivalry here in the metro area.
Well, again, it's one of those. Chaska was doing just fine, and then they built Chanhassen High School, and there you go. You know, you got to make a split.
What do you look at? Speaking of that, Lakeville, once upon a time, split into north-south. And you look at sports, boys or girls, football, volleyball in the fall. You talk hockey, hoops. You name the sport. And then in the spring, lacrosse. Girls lacrosse, Lakeville South, number 2.
Yep.
Boys lacrosse, Lakeville North, number 3. I mean, you name the sport, they have got teams contending down in Lakeville. It is extraordinary. Out of the timeout, Chan goes to work.
You're looking at 2 high schools, too, that have fairly large populations. So the selection of athletes is there for both schools, and thus they have some pretty good athletic teams.
And then, you have Eden Prairie, Maple Grove joining the lake. Eden Prairie, they never, and I would assume they had the option at some point as their population exploded to split. Mm-hmm. They never did.
Nope.
Gigantic school. Wayzata, another one. They get it inside, and it'll end up, and now we got a flag. And I think Maple Grove's going to go a man down here as it ended up with the goalie, Jacob Hamill. I think that's going to be the case. Chan's going to hang on, and they're going to be a man up. Comes late in the quarter, 3:21 remaining. We'll see who's going to take the knee.
Yeah, the only time I remember when a school district split was Edina East and West.
Yep.
And that didn't make much difference as far as, other conferences. I mean, they both were very good teams and dominated still in the Lake Conference.
That was Casbom. And now Chan, a man up. Maple Grove took a 2-1 lead in a man-up situation. We'll see if Chan can take advantage. Get it on the left side, shot in the goal, boom. That was quite a shot.
That was
Potenza.
A laser. Nice shot. Really hit the upper corner really beautifully. Just ripped it. Got it onto a strong side. Looks like he's a lefty. And brought it around, and Potenza, one of the better players for Chanhassen, their leading scorer. You see him come around and just got a nice rip three-quarter, and hits that corner beautifully. Got his head up, knew exactly where he was going. It's almost like he didn't even care the defender was there.
Big shot, Potenza ties it up, and they get a face-off control, and they go to work. Ledoux. Near side. Now running along the sideline, Rig Nelson, double team came. They're going to turn it over. Maple Grove gets it. They're going to quick clear. Why not? Wide open middle of the field. Take advantage of that. A run all day. Get into the attack zone. Still plenty of time to go. Quarter number 2, Maple Grove. Big shove. Player goes down. We're going to get a flag. Getting decked was Josh Thompson. Maple Grove's going to go a man up as soon as Chan touches it. And the Storm do. And now just like that, Maple Grove will have it in the attack zone.
Well, this is one thing that kind of bothers me about Lacrosse. He didn't hit him from behind. He took him from the side. But, again, I think they gauge penalties sometimes on the force of the hit, too. You can hit him hard, but you can't hit him too hard. And sometimes that'll draw a penalty for you.
And Graham Diger, 9th grader, will take a knee. Now another opportunity for Maple Grove. Both teams have a goal, a man up so far in this game. There's a quick shot, goes wide. Brant Jensen trying to go low near his side, went wide, but Crimson had 2 players deep, and they'll go to work. Barthel begins his move to the goal line extended. Thompson off to the right. Maple Grove, job 1, hang on to it, don't turn it over a man up, and get a good look. Or 2 ideally. They're moving it quickly. There's a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Thompson tried to go upper corner far side, just missed.
Boy, they're really, the Crimson are really getting an opportunity to open their arms up and really rip shots here. That Chanhassen defense got to come in and get a little more aggressive there. I mean, it was obviously he was going to shoot. D should have stepped up a little bit harder and got his stick on his stick a little bit more.
There is a turnover, and that one just eluded Thompson's stick and goes out. And that's one of those. They did get a good look, and then they turn it over. And with 1:22 to go, Storm have it in their own end.
Gee, there's a surprise, another turnover.
Just unforced error. No one near Thompson, and the pass didn't click.
Well, now you're beginning to see why both teams have losing records right now. Those turnovers, against the better teams, especially, for example, Benilde St. Margaret's, they'll kill you with that. They'll take advantage of every turnover you can give them.
Oh, they win face-offs and ground balls, and then you turn it over on top of that, forget it.
Yeah.
Palmquist trying to get to the front. They get it back out on top. Final minute of quarter number 2. Storm trying to grab the lead back. Maple Grove trying to deny that. Hit a body in front. That may have caught the leg of Ethan Berry for Maple Grove. Now another ground ball opportunity. Who's going to win it? Maple Grove can get to it. They'd have time, and the Storm end up with the ball, and they have it back. Palmquist out of the Eggs position, coming out of there. 10 to go in the quarter. Cutter comes in, puts it on the ground. Chance for Maple Grove. Bodnar probably is going to try the long home run clear. And it is scooped up by the Storm, and that'll do it. 2 in the books. We're tied at 2. Maple Grove led it 2-1 after 1. Lone goal here in quarter number 2. Owen Potenza with Chanhassen a man up, and that was a dart from the left side. And we'll go to the break. Third quarter on the way. Once again, Friday night boys lacrosse. The Storm and the Crimson tonight from Maple Grove here on CUCX Media.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
2-2. It is the Storm and the Crimson tonight, boys lacrosse. And before the game, we predicted a low-scoring game based on what these teams have done to this point, and it has been a tight defensive struggle. Both goalies have made some nice saves, Dan.
Well, the difference has been the turnovers, and the team that stops making turnovers is going to turn out on top on this one. That has been clear throughout this whole first half, and need to clamp that down. Defense, has been pretty good. I mean, it hasn't all been unforced turnovers, but both teams got to clean that up.
Maple Grove did a really good job on ground balls toward the end of that first quarter. It allowed them to grab a 2-1 lead, but Chan, the lone goal in quarter number 2, and here's some of those highlights. And first goal of the game, Jack Carlson, he goes upstairs, and that's a nice shot. That came a little over 1 minute into the game, and then the player goes down, and then Maple Grove, a big save by Poulin, I mentioned. He had 3 big-time saves in that first quarter. And then, by the way, for Maple Grove, Ricky Peterson ties the game. Then there's one off the post. Talk about ring the bell. And then a great opportunity for Chan inside. Deitel fanned on it. And then there's the tying goal for the Storm. And that was quite a shot by Potenza. Only goal in quarter number 2. And we stand at 2 apiece. I wouldn't say either team has had a huge advantage on face-offs.
No.
And once again, the only thing that really stood out for me on ground balls, Dan, was in the final 7-8 minutes of that first quarter. Maple Grove just lights out on ground balls. They won every ground ball.
Yeah. Well, they started turning their hips, blocking people off, too. In other words, you always got to go with the rule of man first, ball second. So shield the ball from the guy coming in to attack it. And they started doing that really well. They got their hips around, bent low, not standing up, making an obvious pick or block type situation, and kept the Chan player off them and picked it up.
Tight, low-scoring game. Quarter number 3 coming up here in a moment on CUCX Media.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on. because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there. Because connected, we all do better.
It is boys lacrosse here on a Friday night. Quarter number 3 coming up. Maple Grove hosting Chanhassen. And we are tied at 2. And that face-off, good battle after the face-off. Who's going to win that ground ball? And it's going to be Maple Grove going left to right or north to south. They got a breeze at their back. And another ground ball opportunity. Maple Grove's going to control. Good use of the body there, Dan.
Yep.
You talked about it at halftime. You know, definitely use the body. And you see that in the boys' game and the girls' game, using that body to shield the ball and win ground balls.
Mm-hmm. The only difference in the boys is you can be a little more physical than you can with the girls, though. But still, that's always the same thing. Body first, man first, ball second.
Josh Thompson, they get it to the cutter.
Ooh.
Good shot opportunity. Big hit. Big hit laid on Blake Cherney. He got smoked. That was a shot attempt. Maple Grove's going to hang on. Early quarter number 3.
Cherney had a really good first half, though. I can see why they're getting the ball to him, and he's got confidence, too.
Varian out of Beck Cherney, way outside. Shadows of the press box, you can see there. Both benches in the shade. That's got to feel pretty good for these guys. There's Beck Cherney hanging on to it. He's going to make a move, get a shot away, blocked away there. Pulling a nice save, and he's had 4 really good saves tonight, Dan.
Yeah, he's really been a difference maker. He's definitely outshone his opponent in goal, that's for sure. But Maple Grove really is controlled in the offensive zone. You know, Chanhassen really has had very few opportunities to score here.
And then they throw it away, and that was just one. He threw it right into the sunlight. That was 100% a sunlight turnover. There's that shot.
It's got a little too twisted as he was trying to shoot, and then he got one on net.
Yeah.
That was a good save, too, boy. Got his basket down, got the body in front of it. Nice block.
And a moment ago, just a sun-aided turnover. Thompson cruises in. He whistles one high over the top of the net. And Maple Grove's going to hang on. Man deep, Grant Jensen. And he'll grab a ball and go to work. 2 minutes in, quarter number 3, Maple Grove. Another quick shot. Goes behind the net. Crimson are going to hang on. Defending back there, Dawes and Perry for the Storm. Crimson on the attack. They have held it for a while. And now it's Barthel. Near the net to the X position. They'll come out of there. Trying to get to the front. Jensen turned away.
Yeah, I think one thing that might help each of these teams is take some bounce shots. You know, you're just trying to sky it and beat with a hard shot. Sometimes just bounce it in front of the goalie to fool him and change direction on it. And that'll produce a lot more goals at times.
Thompson got inside, put it on the ground. Maple Grove hangs on. So they've been winning the ground ball battles here early in quarter number 3. Let's see if they can pay it off. There's another turnover right into the sun.
Oh,
2 sun-aided turnovers.
Yeah.
Right over the top of the press box where we're sitting, and there's just no way you can see that.
You got to keep the ball low when you're passing it. In fact, you might even want to roll it on the ground, you know, just to the point of, you know, keeping it visible to the receiver.
There's Poulin up the middle of the field. Nice long clear there. Jonas Sullivan going to begin his run all the way behind the net. And that defender is going to retreat to the other side of midfield as the Storm go to work for the first time in the half. Clayton Olsen out there. We haven't called his name much here tonight. He'll give it up on a hop. Grabbed there by Potenza. Had the game-tying goal. Potenza has a good shot. He cruises in. Gets it near the net.
Oh.
That one bounces just wide. Got it to Max Deitel. Goalie for the Crimson may have got a piece.
I think he got it on his foot. You see that weird bounce, and then just got it on the inside of his foot.
Ground ball, still loose. Potenza has it back. You can tell he thought about it. You can see that hesitation. It's like, yeah, I want to stay on the field. This is a little too far. There's Carlson had the opening goal. Carlson now on the left. Potenza swings it all the way down. They're trying to get it back to Carlson. He'll catch. Right into the middle. Good cut. Quick shot. Big save. Nice save again by the Maple Grove goalie, Hamill. Chan keeps it alive. Carlson off to his right. Both teams have had zone time and good looks. Potenza, goal line extended, being hassled. Bodnar all over him. Good job by Bodnar. Carlson going to try and cruise in, powers his way
nice.
in, and goes up top.
Nice.
Second of the game for Carlson.
Left-handed move. Most aren't usually ready to see that. Most guys are right-handed, so you're expecting him to cut back to the middle. He just came straight on toward the post, got it high with his left hand, and found the upper corner. Really quick wrist on that one, Steve. Got it into the upper part of the net fast.
Yeah, reminiscent of his first goal of the game when he kind of powered his way in from the left. And there it is. Triple team converged, and it's one of those where the Crimson are going to look at that afterward and say, we probably should have been a little more physical.
Yeah.
In that spot. And now on that face-off, we haven't had a ton of clean face-off wins in this game. And now the Storm get it. Graham Delger, he put it on the ground immediately, and the Crimson are going to come back the other way. Good job as they move it up the field. Delger still fighting for it. Moving it forward, Emerson Knudsen for Maple Grove. And now it's Varian. Maple Grove's going to hang on to this one, I believe. We're going to get a timeout. Yeah. 6:44 to go in the third. Storm up 3-2. So Maple Grove, to start this quarter, Dan, had a good long attack and some good looks. Same, Storm go the other way.
Exactly.
Only difference, they were able to put one in the net.
Yep. Maple Grove's had their opportunities, but how many posts have we seen them hit? How many have they missed the net? You know, and then those all go to work on you too. And they just need to play aggressive. At least they're staying aggressive. You know, they're not getting down, which is fine. And they're only down by a goal, so you know this is no big deal. They just got to put a few things together, and you know if they could take the second half and start putting it together from here, you know things could change for them really quick.
Poulin's made some nice saves for the Storm, and one of the big reasons they lead it 3-2. And it goes really quick now to the end of the regular season. Boys and girls lacrosse, baseball, softball, track field, golf, all the other spring sports. Boys volleyball, a new one this spring. It's been very well received. It's been fun to see some of the games here on CCX. And I've had a chance to see some volleyball, and the gyms are open.
Yes.
And it's certainly a good spot. We've seen a lot of skill. There's a kid from Rogers that's unbelievable. And some of these teams have a tremendous amount of talent. Some of these guys have been playing club volleyball.
Yes.
And then you got some people who have never really played volleyball and came out and have played other sports. But it has been certainly a fun season. But spring sports are a challenge because you get to section time, and oh, by the way, there's graduation.
Well, yeah.
There's that as well.
Yeah.
So there's a ton going on in the spring, and we'll certainly have it covered here on CX Media. Certainly some good teams in our coverage area. Wayzata boys and girls lacrosse. The girls ranked number 4. Boys still top 10. Wayzata. Maple Grove would like to gain some momentum come section time. Ricky Peterson, a guy who can give him some momentum. Shot in the goal.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, boy.
That is instant momentum. Second of the night.
Now you know why he's all conference. Honorable mention all state last year. Kid's a player, boy, I'll tell you what. And that was as a sophomore last year. He's only a junior this year. He's a player. He's got great skill. He's coming around on his left hand and takes a sidearm shot. Those are so hard to control, and he finds a corner on that.
That is just a phenomenal shot. That's as good as it gets. Not much Poulin could do there, and we're tied at 3.
He saw the minute he got past that D and knew the goalie was still screening, and he just let it rip.
Big collision off the face-off. Who's going to control that draw? And it is going to be the Storm, Kennedy. And they turn it over. Maple Grove's going to come back the other way. On a run here, Josh Thompson. And he's going to back that out. They're going to switch it up. Coming onto the field, Blake Cherney.
Thompson did a good job there switching hands, too, to keep that ball out of trouble and using his body to shield the defenders off him.
Ledoux challenging the ball. Maple Grove's going to set it up. Well, out of a timeout. How good is that? Ricky Peterson, it's just boom, right now we're tied.
That was a short timeout time. Get the ball to 20.
Beck Cherney with it. Gets it off on the right. Moving to the goal line, extended Blake Cherney. He's going to turn, swing it back to the outside. Here's Peterson. Trying to give him a little room. Good job there by Blake Cherney to just control that and stay on the attack. Here's Jensen. Cutter in the middle. Ground ball on a hop. Opportunity for Chan. They're going to go the other way. Here come the Storm. They got a 4-on-3 at the moment. Can they take advantage? They put it on the ground. Maple Grove could dodge one there. Still on the ground. Fighting for it over there is Charlie Parker for Maple Grove. Comes all the way to midfield. Maple Grove's going to scoop it up on the run. Here come the Crimson. They give it up. They have numbers. Shot, save, Poulin. He robbed Jensen. Jensen stays after it. He gets into the X position. They come around the corner. Quick shot by Peterson. Frantic action at the moment. And Peterson will gather it in. And out Thompson.
Boy, what a tremendous save that was, man. Under control, too. Just got down, blocked it all off, and did a nice job with his body.
Maple Grove right back at it. Jensen over to Thompson. Thompson uses a pick. Won't take the shot. Peterson at the X, trying to get out to the front. Gives it up. Thompson on the ground. I don't know if that was a shot attempt or a pass. Thompson has it anyway. And he's going to come all the way around and get it into the middle. Burgess. And now it's Ryan Smith. He'll try the shot. Another save, Poulin. On the ground. Maple Grove scooped up. That was a neat pickup by Grant Jensen. That was nifty. He picked that up in a phone booth.
Yeah, but how about Poulin just being stand up really nice, cool, calm, not letting anything phase him, staying on the ball.
Barthel a shot. Wow. He goes down low. He goes low to high. 4-3 Crimson. Watch his shot.
Whoa. Nothing a goalie can do about that one. That, again, was another laser. Let's go with Cannon on that now for this one. Boy, really let it go. You know, it shows you what can happen if you give a guy enough room to really let his arms out and get a look at. Oh, he brought that in tight. He didn't have a lot of open arm. Nice shot. You can see how he kind of brought it in toward his stomach as he was following through on it. Wonder if that put a little backspin on it and made it curve a little.
Terrific shot out there for Maple Grove. Kudla. Maple Grove's going to get it. Good battle on every draw here tonight. I wouldn't say either team's had a huge advantage. Maple Grove gets it back. They've scored 2 in a row. They lead it by 1. 3 to go, quarter number 3. They played really well at the end of the first quarter. Chan had the only goal in the second. And now going to work here, Beck Cherney. That shot over the top of the net. Maple Grove's going to hang on. Eli Varian was deep. And now Maple Grove right back at it.
Well, it's just kind of gone as expected. Kind of a low-scoring game, not scoring too much, but nobody getting too far ahead. I don't think there's been a two-goal. There's been one two-goal lead, I think, at one point in the game, but that's about it.
Ryan Smith knocked off the ball. Another ground ball opportunity. Chan, they kick it, and Ledoux has it. Going the other way, Wyatt Brasted. He's coming up the middle of the field. He's going to give it up on the left. They go all the way across, put it on the ground, and it's grabbed by the goalie, Hamill. Hamill's going to clear.
There was a Sun turnover right there, Steve.
That's a third of the quarter.
Yeah.
Big-time Sun turnover. And now Maple Grove playing keep away. Brady Bodnar, sophomore defender. Good play by Bodnar. Kind of wait for the switch. And now Barthel. Pretty goal a moment ago. He's going to go to the middle. Off to the left. Shoot another one and score. He's on fire.
Well, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. Otherwise, the coach would have been really pissed off if he hadn't gotten that goal, because for the minute 47, you want to work for the last shot at that point. But what the heck? He pots it, putting that two-goal lead for the second time in the game.
Hey, he's feeling it. Kind of like in hoops, a hot hand.
You see a good play there by the long stick, especially when he got pushed from behind. Found his openings. Oh, he should have ripped it because he couldn't see it. The pass, the receiver was like, what? But look at that shot. Man.
Well, how about that? Barthel, the senior, 2 in a row. Maple Grove scored 3 straight. And now it's 5-3. And they've got another face-off in their hip pocket. And now I would assume you're kind of playing with house money with 1:20 to go in the quarter. Make sure you get a good look. Grant Jensen.
Hoping to get the first 3-goal lead of the game here.
Marion tried to get to the front, denied. They got 2 deep. Jensen. They get it out on top. Another shot. That whistle's wide. Well, Blake Cherney was calling for it. He got a really good look. Maple Grove still has plenty of time, and that's all you want, a good look.
Yes.
And he fired it high. Now they're going to come to the top. Beck Cherney with it. And he's going to work his way down. Still plenty of time. Closing in on 30 to go in the quarter. Grant Jensen.
Good play by the D there. Just couldn't quite get a handle on it, but saw that pass coming, got in the middle of it and interrupted. Just delay some more seconds.
Here's Peterson. Dodge to the left. Gets it out on top. Nice catch. Beck Cherney. Big collision. Blake Cherney knocked off. Now the Storm come back. They have time over midfield. They put it on the ground. Now for Maple Grove, just control this ground ball and go to the fourth. Kick forward there. Nice play. Will Burgess did a really nice job. 5 seconds remaining. Long shot. Caught by the goalie. That was going to go over the top of the net, but Hamill knocked it down anyway. And that's the end of the quarter. I haven't seen a lot of shots from out there.
No, but 5 seconds left. What the heck? Take a rim at it, you know? How many times you've seen all of a sudden a half-court shot get potted? So he was hoping to catch him by surprise, especially on that sun side there, too. You never know. Might have got a little flicker of the sun, and in it goes.
Maple Grove scores 3 in a row to end the quarter. We'll go to the fourth with the Crimson leading it 5-3 here on CCX Media.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And we are back. Fourth quarter coming up, and Maple Grove leading Chanhassen 5-3. Steve Thompson, Dan Ficken, and our great crew, led by Isaac Rice tonight. And it is a pleasant night here in the shade, anyway.
I'm enjoying it. They got a nice fan going up here for us. The only thing that could be better is an air conditioning unit, and I'm sure the school would put one into a press box.
Well,
sure.
I was thinking an elevator while they're at it.
Ooh, I like that idea. My gosh.
And a moment ago, you saw Brady Barthel, who kind of took over. Big goal out of the timeout. Ricky Peterson quickly tied it up at 3 apiece. Huge goal. Since then, Maple Grove's had all the momentum.
Yeah, they really have. You know, a lot of missed nets, though, a lot of posts that we've seen. And, but, Bartel's done a great job for Chanhassen there in the net. And, I'm sorry, Poulin, my fault. And, kept it somewhat close. But, they need one here. That would really boost their spirits quite a bit now in the final quarter.
Ground ball picked up by Maple Grove. Ryan Kasbaum picks up that ground ball, playing keep away, gets it forward. Another ground ball. Crimson trying to get it. Another opportunity. And it's going to be scooped up there by Charlie Parker. He's going to move it forward. And this is Ryan Kasbaum, the senior. Kasbaum's going to spin out of there, and Maple Grove up by 2. Now, up by 2, not a huge lead in Lacrosse, but now you have the ball, and you can really settle in for a good look. And they've done a nice job in the attack zone getting those good looks.
Yeah, take your time and build it, get a good shot from a good spot every time you come down into the attack zone or get it over the half line mark. And, you'll build on that. If, you get another one, you got a 3-goal. Then you get another one, just be patient.
Thompson's shot goes wide. Maple Grove had 2 players deep, and they're going to hang on to it. They're working into the breeze or to the north end. They're at Maple Grove. And now Jensen trying to get to the front, turned away. Cutter in the middle, put on the ground, big shot. Storm trying to come out of there. They really need a ground ball at this point in time. And they're finally going to get it. And coming out the other way, Noah Johnson, a junior. And now the Storm go to work. And now they're going to get it to Jack Carlson. He scored a couple for him, first goal of the game. And then the go-ahead goal to make it 3-2 in the third quarter. And now we're going to get a timeout. Yeah, and the Storm want to talk it over with 10:23 to go in the game. And this really is a big spot. They almost, if they don't score, they've got to get some attack zone time and get a look or two.
Exactly. Do the best you can to wear them down, but, don't just settle for a shot. You're only down by 2. This is a take it 1 goal at a time type deal. It's not like you're down by 10, and just work it. And what you'll do in the end, you'll start grinding down that Maple Grove Crimson defense and make it a little bit easier in the last 2 minutes, especially if they're down by a goal. It'll give them a little bit probably easier look to get that tying goal.
We saw it a lot in the third. The advantage the Storm have in the attack, they're not going to have to deal with the sun a ton because of the shadow of the press box. And we've seen some sun-aided turnovers in that third quarter where Maple Grove on the attack, they're going to have to deal with that setting sun a lot more over on the far side of the field. Chan still has some difficulty, but not nearly what Maple Grove would need to deal with, and that's certainly been a factor in this game.
Example, third period there.
For
Chan
sure.
just had, 2 or 3 opportunities taken away just because that sun was in the receiver's eyes. And so we'll see how much of a factor that is in this last 10 minutes and 23 seconds.
And there's a shot. I'm glad it's at our back. If we were sitting on the far side, there is a stadium here in town that looks to the west, and that is Goodrich Field in Anoka.
Ah.
Yeah. And that is no fun before the trees bud out. And you're looking that way.
Oh.
Yeah, it is tough in the spring and in the fall when the leaves disappear. Good old Goodrich Field in Anoka. And
The pit.
yeah, boy, just a legendary venue.
Oh, my gosh. And there's been some really good football played in that stadium.
Yeah, and there was a lot of talk about Goodrich when turf came to District 11. Would they continue to play there? And a lot of people thought, yes, Anoka varsity sports will still be played at Goodrich Field. They wanted to move it out to the high school. There's one in on goal, and Poulin's going to turn it the other way. So we had a turnover, and now the Storm get it back. And they're going to move with the wind at their back, upfield down by 2. Maple Grove has done a nice job pressuring. And Chan's able to fight through it and get it forward. Storm go to work.
Looking for some help here. Somebody get open for him. There you go.
Yeah, Palmquist has it. They get it inside and a quick goal. Boy, they moved it beautifully down low. Maple Grove's slow to react, and the Storm have pulled it within 1. That was about as good a ball movement as we've seen all night from the Storm.
Went from left to right, back left low with the ball movement there, and just beat the goalie to the spot once they got it down low left. And nice shot. He went high-low.
Deitel gets the goal.
There's a pass right there. Down low, bang.
Yeah, Palmquist fed it in. We certainly give him an assist on that one. And that comes 3:13 into the quarter, and it's a 1-goal game. And now it's back to ground balls, face-offs, and Maple Grove pops out of there with it. Chase Kudla. Nice job there.
Well, that was a big goal there for the Storm, boy. That game got him back to within 1 here, so anybody's game.
Burgess put on the ground, shouldn't be a big deal, and it's gathered in by Ryan Smith. It's the 9th grader. Or Kudla's the 9th grader, Smith the senior. Kudla did a nice job winning that. And then that one pops off his stick right in front of the goalie. Poulin's going to clear it out, and the Storm right back at it, down by 1. Coming up on 8 to go in the 4th. Another shot from the outside, and a goal skips by the goalie. Hamill, and just like that, the Storm have tied it up. That didn't take long.
Hamill was completely surprised by that, but I'm looking at a save percentage of .473. Not very good, and now you can see why. That was just from that far out, but I'll give it this. It was a high-low bounce shot. And on this turf, sometimes those balls will take a real weird bounce.
So Severson, a defender, gets the goal to tie it up. He had room right up the middle of the field, gave it up, got it back, quick shot. And Severson, you can tell those defenders love to score goals. It comes at 3:59, so they have the only 2 goals. And we're knotted at 5 here in the 4th. And the Storm end up with it again off a face-off, and they're right back at it. All the momentum is swung in their favor.
Well, we talked before the game started, too, about, when you're down activating your D and letting them run, and there we got a great example of it. And with that big stick, a high-low bounce shot, that's really difficult for the goalies to track. And with that extra length, it gives them a lot more velocity than a regular normal-sized lacrosse stick.
Potenza has it in the middle. He has the goal. Thought about shooting, gives it up on the right. Now they go to the X position. They get it to a cutter right down the middle, and another goal. Great cut, and it's Deitel again. His second of the quarter and the game.
Well, you see where all those outside shots, Steve, make all the difference. Suddenly the slot opens up, and the X finds it. He kept looking for it, and they got a guy open, and they made absolutely sure once that ball got in there.
4:44 into the 3rd, and just wide open. He goes upstairs. And the Storm have scored 3 goals in 1:31. 3:13, 3:59, and now 4:44 here are the 4th, and they have a 6-5 lead. Now work for Maple Grove. They get another face-off control. That was Delger who did the work. Face-off, get off. And he's going to get a pat on the back, and why not on that sideline?
Well, the Crimson now, hey guys, they're not coming anymore. They're here. It's time to step up. You got to get some saves there. You got to get some blocks. You got to stop their momentum right now.
Here's Carlson with 2 goals, gets it into the middle, quick shot, that goes well wide. But the Storm had a player deep. You can't forget about Carlson either. He had the opening goal of the first and the third.
We'll keep our eye on the weak side forward here, weak side attack. See if he doesn't get open as they start trying to work out a little bit farther out from the slot.
Big save there.
Yeah.
Boy, Carlson cruised in, and that was a big save by Hamill. The sophomore came up big, and now he has it as he trots out from the goal area. And now he'll put it on the ground on a hop. Ground ball opportunity gathered in. Ethan Berry, nice job. Boy, Maple Grove couldn't afford to turn it right back.
No.
With 6 to go. Maple Grove closes out the third with 3 to grab a 5-3 lead. Chan answers with 3 to start the fourth. And now it's Burgess. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Another unforced error. No son to blame there.
No. Just not a very good pass, and the basket of the receiver was not ready. He had to stretch out one-handed, and that's not the way to catch a lacrosse ball. Uh-oh.
Potenza gave it up. And then hesitating was Rig Nelson. Gave Maple Grove a chance, and now the Crimson. Nice clear. They get it to midfield on the move. Blake Cherney. Cherney gets it inside. Terrific catch. Ricky Peterson sent it wide. Boy, that was a quick shot. It didn't take him long to get rid of it.
No, not at all. Well, he kind of gets it. We've seen about 3 or 4 of those from him tonight, too. Gets it and rips it, and that's why he's leading scorer in the team and one of the better players in the state.
Only bummer is Maple Grove didn't have a player deep, so the Storm get it back.
Yep.
But it wasn't a bad decision because he got a really good look. And now they got to deny here. Here come the Storm. Jonas Sullivan, a defender, gets into the X position. He'll make his way back to midfield as the Storm go to work. Over on the left side. Out of the middle, and this is Owen Potenza. He had the lone goal in quarter number 2. We were tied at 2 at the half. Now a run here for Rig Nelson. He has it knocked away. Nice play by Maple Grove. Terrific defensive play. And now they go to work. Huge defensive play there for Emerson Knudsen. He'll trot to the sideline. And he'll get a congratulations from his teammates. That was huge. Maple Grove trying to get the equalizer. Goes inside, quick shot, big save. Poulin. He went down, blocked that. That may leave a mark.
Just what we call a little red mark, but Poulin's not afraid to give it up for his body. He's done a great job. He's just so cool and calm, and he's a solid block there, cutting angles down, and he ain't twitching at all.
So we get another timeout, 3:55 to go. And Maple Grove down by 1. And it has been a very competitive game. I think both coaches would, number one, say turnovers in really tough spots have certainly hurt us. But the wild swings and momentum.
Yes.
Looked like Maple Grove was going to run away and hide at the end of the third. And now Chanhassen looks like they're unbeatable with a 1-goal lead and 4 to go.
Well, it's, lacrosse has always been a back and forth game, especially with the face-off scenario. But they just got to settle down, move it around, find an opening. You're only down by 1. Again, I got to reiterate, you're in no urgency to fast break it or rip a shot just to see what happens. Because you're down by so much, take your time, find the open guy. And they've done a pretty good job of that throughout the game. And just, but don't be so quick to rip it.
Henry Poulin, the 9th grade goalie for the Storm, has stepped up huge. And we don't want to forget about him because he's made 5 or 6 very big saves in
Huge.
this game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you kind of look at the statistics and you go, gee, this guy isn't very good, but boy, I'll tell you what, he stepped up tonight. He's played very well. Gee, I wonder if that guy's going to get the ball at all.
Well, out of the timeout, got a huge goal for Maple Grove to tie this thing up. And they went on a 3-goal tear, so I would think they want to find Peterson. And I would assume the Storm know that. But they want to try and deny that. Peterson with 2 for the Crimson tonight.
Well, this is where you see a guy with a skill level of Peterson that no matter what they do, he still can find a way to score.
Get it out to Thompson. They put it on the ground. This is an opportunity for Ledoux, and he does pick it up for the Storm. They're up by 1, and now the clock becomes a huge factor, and Maple Grove's going to have to gamble a little bit. You can see Brady Bodnar battling over there. I think we're going to get another timeout.
Yep.
Maple Grove wants to talk about it. And now down by 1, and they have the ball. Once again, Maple Grove's going to have to take some chances. And I think, Dan, we've seen in this run of 3 goals in a row, the Storm have really moved the ball well. Quickly.
Very much, yeah, very much so. We've seen a number, I think three really nice tic-tac-toe goals that they've moved the ball very well. You know, and they're not looking like, you know, a 2-7 team right now. They're playing very well and moving the ball really well. Got to look at a little tense Maple Grove fan. He looks pretty relaxed. He's just out there enjoying the weather.
He's going to be on the water at midnight. Fishing opener.
Boy, would I like to do that. Man.
You know, I did it once, and it was really cold. Most
really?
openers are cold.
Yeah.
Years ago, I was talked into it. Let's go fishing at midnight. And by about 12:45, I thought it was one of the worst ideas ever. Out on the water, it's dark, they're not biting, and I'm freezing cold.
My brother-in-law gave me some good advice because he's just a little short of a pro fisherman. He said, layers. Wear your layers.
I was young and dumb, and now I'm just old and dumb.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, you changed in one aspect anyway,
Yeah,
Steve. That's good.
That's right. But, yeah, that was the last time.
Yeah.
Went out there, froze, never again. But good luck to all the anglers. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms this Sunday. And here's one of the key guys, Potenza on the outside. Once again, they're in no hurry. Job 1, work the clock, get a good look, play, keep away from Maple Grove, and Maple Grove's really got a challenge. Potenza gets it back.
With about
Now Palmquist.
2 minutes to go, you'll probably start seeing the double team come now. They have to take a chance and leave a guy open just to get on the ball.
Potenza, long shot, and it's grabbed by the goalie. Huge grab by Jacob Hamill. And now an all-important clear, and Maple Grove still plenty of time, down by 1.
Yeah, Hamill did a good job with his basket there, giving with the shot so it didn't bounce out. Took control of it, didn't panic, got it up to his players, and here we go.
Good feed to Thompson. Thompson on the move to the left side. That one skips by the goalie. Maple Grove had not 1 but 2 deep. They'll hang on after the shot attempt. But Hamill, huge, and then a really nice clear and catch by Thompson on the run. Here's Ricky Peterson. They put it on the ground side of the net. It's going to be controlled by Poulin.
Boy, there's her moving without having the ball yet. Really kills you. You got to take it down, make sure you get control of it first, especially in this situation, being down by a goal.
They're able to get it to Poulin. He was able to clear, and the Storm right back. Coming up on 2 to go. Storm by 1. Maple Grove needs to get it back. Ethan Berry.
I'll wait and see how long it takes for the double team to start coming.
Ground ball, Maple Grove an opportunity. Chan scoops it up.
That was a beautiful sweep.
And now down low, Potenza. They'll get it to the X position. Kaylin Balliet. Balliet trying to get to the front. Can't. Checked by Barry. Balliet knocked away. 1:20 to go. And now nervous moments for Maple Grove. Are they going to get it back? Challenging there was Thompson, and a turnover.
Yep.
Maple Grove is going to get it. Still plenty of time with 1:13.
Good stick check there on the hands.
On a hop off the body of Barthel. Still a ground ball. Maple Grove's going to get this. Chan all over him.
Good step up there by the Crimson D.
Bodnar on a hop. Another ground ball opportunity. Storm are going to get it back. Oh, too bad. They tried to get it ahead to Jensen, but the Storm very aggressive all over the ball, trying to deny. And now 40 to go. And the Storm in keep away mode. And they're going to turn it over. And now it opens the door for the Crimson again. Can they take advantage with 32 to go, down by 1?
Boy, big mistake there. Bad pass and an off-legged one-footed throw. Man.
All right, Maple Grove does get it to midfield.
Plenty of time.
This is Jensen. Jensen being pushed. Gets it into the middle. Peterson, quick shot, goes wide. Maple Grove had a player deep. And that was Varian. 9 seconds to go. Can they get a look? They get it out on top. They got to hurry with 5. Ground ball opportunity, shot toward the net. Wide, that'll do it. Chanhassen holds on and beats Maple Grove 6-5. They put 3 unanswered in the board in the 4th, and they moved to 3-7 on the year. Heartbreaking loss for the Crimson. They drop to 3-6.
And boy, I'll tell you, at home, taking a loss like this to a team with a losing record, boy, that just got to, put a little stick in your gobbler there. And, but, Chanhassen came up here to play. I was, surprisingly, considering the records for these teams, and yeah, there were some turnovers, but I thought they moved the ball pretty good. And Chanhassen especially found some open players to create some goals there. At least 3 of them were really created tic-tac-toe goals.
Well, the one thing the Storm have identified, a goalie in 9th grader Henry Poulin.
Oh, yeah.
He made a half a dozen really big saves that turned out to be the difference in this game tonight.
Yeah, you get a good look at him. For a freshman, he's got some pretty good size to him, too. And guess what? He's going to get nothing but better.
Well, and he has the ingredient, the willingness to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That of all the positions in sports, lacrosse goalie, you got to have the courage to get in there and do it.
No, you got to be nuts. Frankly, you got to be nuts. I mean, if you've ever been hit by one of those balls and got a little red mark on your, which is going to turn into a big-time bruise and get the ice packs out at home, you got to be crazy.
Yeah, so quite a battle. Maple Grove made it 5-3 after 3. Peterson is second of the game. Barthel had 2, but then Chan closed it out with 3 in a row in the 4th. Hey, a big thanks to our crew led by Isaac Rice. Dan, always good to work with you, my friend.
You too, Steve. Really, it's just been a pleasure. I love it. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Hope to see you in the future.
We'll see you down the road. There he is, Dan Ficken. I'm Steve Thompson. Boys lacrosse tonight, it was a good one. It was the Storm beating the Crimson tonight, the final 6-5. Good night from Maple Grove.